Let's turn to the other top political story, where the Aam Aadmi Party, that has gone from one controversy and crisis to another, finally had a good day in the office. Big relief for AAP in the Office of Profit case, where 20 of its MLAs who had been disqualified in Delhi by the Election Commission were today reinstated by the Delhi High Court. In its verdict, the court asked the Election Commission to rehear the Aam Aadmi Party's petition and set aside the President's notification on disqualification. It is a huge embarrassment for the Election Commission and some relief for Arvind Kejriwal and the beleaguered Aam Aadmi Party.
A big moral victory for the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi. 20 disqualified Aam Aadmi Party MLAs reinstated.
आप सिर्फ चुनाव आयोग को दोबारा सुनवाई करनी है, वो होगी, तब तक हम विधायक और हम विधानसभा सत्र में जाएं।
The Delhi High Court on Friday restored membership of 20 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs disqualified on recommendations of the Election Commission of India for allegedly holding offices of profit. Setting aside the President's notification on disqualification, the Delhi High Court went on to say that the office of profit is not defined yet. Holding the notification disqualifying the MLAs as bad in law, the court remanded their plea back to the EC, asking the panel to rehear the case.
दिल्ली के लोगों की जीते 20 विधानसभाओं में जहाँ के विधायकों को 2 महीने से हटाया हुआ था, ऑफिसों में ताले लगे थे, लोग परेशान हो रहे थे। ये उन लोगों को परेशानी से जो है इस फैसले ने बाहर ला दिया है।
Just minutes after the verdict, Aam Aadmi Party leaders erupted in joy and celebrated outside the court. Hailing the Delhi High Court's verdict, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal called the verdict a victory of truth.
It's not merely a victory of Aam Aadmi Party or the well-wishers of Aam Aadmi Party or the MLAs of Aam Aadmi Party. It's the victory of people of Delhi who gave a thumping mandate, a thumping majority to the Aam Aadmi Party.
In January, the poll panel recommended the disqualification of 20 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs. Of the 21, Jarnail Singh had resigned from the assembly to contest the Punjab elections. The Election Commission had said that the MLAs, by occupying the post of parliamentary secretaries between March 13, 2015 and September 8, 2016, held office of profit and were liable to be disqualified as legislators. The disqualified lawmakers moved the High Court in February, contending the poll panel notification was a gross violation of natural justice.
ये फैसला सबको कह देता है कि जब जनता जिसको ताकत देती है उसका मान रखें, उसका सम्मान रखें और पूरे 5 साल के लिए जिसको मैंडेट मिला है उसको सेवा करने दें.
While Delhi High Court has reinstated the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, the Office of Profit case has not been quashed yet. Setting aside the poll panel recommendations on procedural ground, the court has asked Election Commission to rehear Aam Aadmi Party's plea. Now the Election Commission will reconsider the legislators' cases on the basis of merit. For now, the panel has refused to comment on the verdict.
All such orders are open to judicial scrutiny, and whatever judicial pronouncements are made, Commission would get a certified copy, study, and whatever directions are there, Commission will take a view on that.
Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister and National Convener of the party, will ensure that this possible victory, partial relief in many ways, but also a big victory for the AAP, will be used to pep up the spirit of the Aam Aadmi Party workers, volunteers and members, putting behind a lot of controversies in the past few weeks. With Ankit Tyagi, Ashutosh Mishra and Anusha Soni, Pooja Shali for India Today.
Let's raise the big questions then tonight. Does the Delhi High Court order bring the neutrality of the one of the country's premier constitutional bodies, the Election Commission, under the scanner? Did the Election Commission rush to a judgment in the Aam Aadmi Party MLA's case in haste? Has AAP been a constant target for the ruling establishment? Does AAP remain prone to self-destruction? Does AAP still really have a political future? We'll look at both those issues, the Election Commission and the Aam Aadmi Party. Joining me now, Vishwajit Bhattacharya, former Additional Solicitor General who appeared for one of the AAP MLAs once before the Commission, T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner, Shazia Ilmi, leader of the BJP, and Atishi Marlena, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. But I want to turn to you, Biswajit Bhattacharya, first. Is this order a huge embarrassment for the Election Commission? Because it seems to suggest that it was possibly wrong in law, but importantly, certainly did not follow the principles of natural justice by giving a hearing, a personal hearing to the MLAs.
Rajdeep, it's a huge embarrassment for the Election Commission of India, the constitutional body. Para 38 of the Division Bench judgment of the High Court says, Election Commission of India is taking the stand that oral hearing is not necessary. Shocking. And from 23rd of June 2017, which was the last date of hearing, till the pronouncement of the verdict on 19th of January this year, for almost 7 months, no hearing took place. Meanwhile, one of the election commissioners had earlier, sort of recused. He joined back. A new election commissioner joined on 1st of September. So election commissioners are recusing, joining back without informing anything. It's a joke.
The Election Commission, of course, is claiming, Mr. Bhattacharya, they gave enough opportunity for the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs to appear before it. I mean, are we saying that without a personal hearing, you cannot pass an order in a case like this?
Surely not. Surely not. You see, I have read the Delhi High Court judgment just now.
Yes.
From 23rd of June 2017 till 18th January this year, not a single hearing was given. In fact, when petitioners took the stand that quorum of the Election Commission should be complete and personal hearing should be given, Election Commission in para 38 of the judgment says personal hearing is not necessary. This is absolutely shocking against the principles of natural justice. Principles of natural justice is a distillate of the due process of law. It is the quintessence for the process of justice. It cannot be scuttled like this.
Okay, you're saying therefore principles of natural justice not followed. You needed to give a personal hearing to the MLAs as the court says. T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner, would you agree with what Biswajit Bhattacharya is saying, that at the very least the Election Commission had to give a personal hearing to the AAP MLAs before passing an order disqualifying them, which is a very serious order to have passed, because it means effectively that you are rejecting the mandate of the people, and that necessitated that at least there should have been a personal hearing of this matter.
Mr. Biswajit Bhattacharya is certainly entitled to be elated over the decision of the Delhi High Court.
Yes.
But I don't see it in the same way. While I agree that the High Court has observed that principles of natural justice should have been observed.
Yes.
They have also mentioned in the 79-page order, which I read also in detail, they have said there are different interpretations, different case laws on the subject. There is an orchestra of notes on this subject, and they have come to the conclusion that in this particular case, they should have given a hearing. The Election Commission had taken the view that Election Commission's role is only inquisitorial, and that it is expected to give an opinion. It was not supposed to give a hearing on a day-to-day basis in a civil court. Of course, it's a matter of interpretation. The Delhi High Court has taken the view, and certainly we have to comply with the order of the Delhi High Court. But it doesn't mean that the image of the Election Commission
Mr. Krishnamurthy, on the neutrality of the Election Commission. You don't think an order of this kind casts any shadow over the neutrality of the Election Commission? Because remember, sir, the Chief Election Commissioner was also someone who had been a secretary to the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister was Gujarat Chief Minister. And from time to time, people have raised questions, was the Election Commission being used to target the Aam Aadmi Party?
Now, I'm not going into the question of the appointment of the election commissioners.
Yes.
I'm only going into the merits of this particular case.
Okay.
Where the High Court has said you should have given a hearing. There are a number of instances where without hearing the orders have been passed. And there are a number of cases where they say whether the disqualification order had given a hearing to the affected party. These are certainly issues of legalities which need to be gone into, but I don't think Election Commission's image has taken a hit as a result of this judgment.
Okay,
The High Court has directed that you give another hearing and hear them before you take a final decision. In fact, they have not given a decision.
Let me just take that to Atishi Marlena. I take your point, sir. Let me take that to Atishi Marlena. Is the Aam Aadmi Party then prematurely celebrating? Because what the Delhi High Court has said to an extent is that it is not pronouncing specifically on the issue of office of profit, of whether these Aam Aadmi Party MLAs were holding an office of profit. They are looking more at the process followed by the Election Commission, which denied them a personal hearing. They haven't as yet gone into the objective facts of the case in terms of the content as much as the procedure.
Rajdeep, Aam Aadmi Party is not celebrating today just because our MLAs have been reinstated in the assembly. Aam Aadmi Party is also celebrating today because the way the Election Commission passed the order was a travesty of natural justice. Number one, I actually disagree with Mr. Krishnamurthy that the Election Commission thought in this matter that they had a choice to actually hear the matter, because for 1 year before that, the Election Commission had been hearing the matter about the maintainability of the case. The Election Commission hears that for 1 year, but does not actually hear the main case. Number one. Number two, the way the order was passed. It was passed on the last day of the tenure of Mr. Jyoti, a bureaucrat known to be close to the central government. On his last day in office, he passes an order without giving a hearing. Within 48 hours on a Sunday, the president has signed off on that order and it has been notified. This definitely raises a lot of questions about the independence of constitutional bodies, and the fact that the High Court has had to make such a strong comment on the Election Commission that this is a violation of the process of natural justice,
right,
does underline some of these concerns that we have been raising about the Election Commission. Number two, we were not even asking the High Court to give a ruling on the issue of office of profit. When we went to the High Court, our demand was that the case should be heard. And the High Court has upheld the demand and sent the case back to the Election Commission asking for a fair hearing, which the Election Commission should have given in the first place.
Let me, Atishi Marlena, take that to Shazia Ilmi. You know, the concept of justice, particularly when it involves constitutional bodies, is not simply that justice must be done, but must be seen to be done. When on the last day in office, the then Chief Election Commissioner passes this order on his last day in office, the president signs off on it on a Sunday. Questions are raised. Was there undue haste? To that extent, there will be those who will say that the BJP government was keen to fix the Aam Aadmi Party. And to that extent, the High Court has at least rectified what could have been a possible aberration in the rules of natural justice.
You know, there's so many conspiracy theories that keep emanating out of the stables of Aam Aadmi Party that one has lost count really, because they see conspiracy everywhere. And had this judgment gone the other way, as it has happened earlier in the year 2006 vis-a-vis both Jaya Bachchan and Sonia Gandhi, and less than that, when this particular election commissioner was not there and BJP was not in command, or election commission was not acting at the behest of BJP, there was no hearing whatsoever. So I don't know what we are talking about. And you know, even if we want to mudslink, it's all right to be political rivals and say that, but to constantly cast aspersions on a constitutional body, on its processes, is unfair. There were 11 questions which were given and in writing to all of these 21 parliamentary undersecretaries. Now, of course, the number is 20. And the 11 questions are in front of me, and the Election Commission took 2 years to fulfill this whole process. Besides that, there are GAD, which is a General Administration Department, as well as PWD, spent 15 lakhs and 17 lakhs and allocated offices to these parliamentary secretaries. So there are many facts also that have to be looked at. This is an interim relief, and I'm so happy, you know, Rajdeep, you know why I'm happy? Because they can't play the victim card anymore. They will not use this to gain sympathy. Finally, I'm glad they've got it and they'll have to go out and work.
From day one,
let me finish.
The election commission was biased against it. Now the same election commission, you might recall, in Gujarat in the Rajya Sabha elections had in a sense
EVM machines
backed
were biased.
the Congress and gone against the BJP. Is the Aam Aadmi Party still claiming that the election commission is biased against it?
Yes. How do you explain that?
No, let Atishi reply.
Rajdeep.
Yes.
Rajdeep, today Aam Aadmi Party is not saying that there is a problem with the Election Commission's order. Today the Delhi High Court has said that there has been a violation of the principle of natural justice. You must understand that that is a very strong statement coming from the High Court, because what the High Court is effectively saying is that one of the highest constitutional bodies in this country, on whom we rely to be objective in the entire political process, has not followed the due process of law. This is not coming from the Aam Aadmi Party. This is coming from the Delhi High Court. So let us not think that it's a question of Aam Aadmi Party having one opinion or Aam Aadmi Party having another opinion. Today we are discussing a judicial pronouncement, and I think that this is a matter that goes beyond Aam Aadmi Party. It is a matter that raises the question of the independence of constitutional bodies in this country today.
It's interesting you're saying that. As I said 6 months ago, after Gujarat, no one questioned the independence of the EC, but
So
Shazia Ilmi respond to the fact is
and
that
Atishi did not answer.
Because
so Atishi did not answer the particular question that you asked about the Gujarat Rajya Sabha polling.
It's about perception. Just a minute, Atishi. Shazia Ilmi, the perception is that there is an attempt being made to fix the Aam Aadmi Party. Now this perception has grown ever since they won that election in 2015. Now you can claim that the Aam Aadmi Party claims victim every time, but there is also some basis to the victimhood. You can't entirely say that the I mean, are we saying that in this office of profit case, the centre has behaved entirely fairly?
Yes, so Abhi, but Rajdeep, by that same measure, and you asked that question and it was not answered, and I asked questions about Jaya Bachchan and Sonia Gandhi and they were not answered, so I don't know what we are referring to here. But it is Aam Aadmi Party and it is their brand of politics. That just because they don't know how to do any administration, they pass masters of agitation. They create this perception, whether it's the LG or whether it's Najib Jung first and now the Anil Baijal ji, whether it's a police commissioner, whether it's a CVC person, Mr. Meena, whether it's Shakuntala Gamblin, whether it's Anshu Prakash, who they actually bashed up. They love to create this perception. This is Arvind's trump card, play the victim. So I'm in a way very relieved that High Court, and had High Court ruled against them, they would have called High Court also an agent of the BJP. I'm so glad they've got this, because for once a bluff has been called. Right. And my only advice to them is, you say whatever you want to say to BJP, but do not cast aspersions on Election Commission as freely and widely as is being done by every member of the party. I think it's very unfair. You call EVM machines faulty, you call everybody. So I think it's a bit much and it's beyond all credibility.
Let me come back.
And I'm glad it got temporary relief, but there has to be a hearing is underway. And facts of the matter have to be discussed.
Okay, let me come back to the law per se. What does this mean for this entire issue of office of profit, along with the Election Commission neutrality? Parliamentary secretaries were appointed by Arvind Kejriwal. They were allegedly being given as a result government benefits. And there is this entire contentious issue of whether these parliamentary secretaries constituted office of profit or not. The High Court has not ruled on that, but they said process has not been followed. What does this mean for office of profit and importantly for the EC's reputation?
Rajdeep, this issue on merit is wide open.
Is still wide open.
Wide open. The match is completely open now. Now the fresh round of match now will be played before the new election commission with a full quorum. And I hope this time the election commission will follow the principles of natural justice. You know, election commission is a very high constitutional body. Nobody is blaming them sort of directly. But the question is that there is a procedural propriety is there. There is a natural justice is there. One member is basically recusing without informing And after recusing, the election commissioner is again coming in. The new election commissioner is coming in, and all this noting is going on internally within the election commission. So High Court has taken a view on this. So it is not an allegation by one political party against another political party. The Honorable Division Bench of the High Court has made certain observations, which in my respectful submission, Election Commission should be careful in future to follow the principles of natural justice, which I'm repeating. Justice Biles, the British judge has said it is the distillate of the due process of law.
Okay.
You cannot short circuit the principles of natural justice. This is the very basic is required.
Let me get a final word from you, T.S. Krishnamurthy, then. As someone who has been a chief election commissioner, do you believe that the election commission is now caught between these in a very polarized surcharge political environment, where whether it is election voting machines or today a contentious order like this, the election commission's neutrality is being repeatedly questioned? What should the election commission do in that sense in situations like this as we lead up to the 2019 elections?
First of all, I would like to clarify, Mr. Biswadit Bhattacharya, on the question of recusal. The High Court has not passed any strictures. They have only said that the petitioners themselves have accepted is coming back to the hearing and proceeding with the case. Okay, as for the second.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you said strongly.
Okay.
No, strongly. You said strongly. They have not said anything strongly on that point.
Shall I read it?
I have
Shall
read
I
through
read
the
it?
judgment.
Shall I read it?
The second point you said, as far as the election commission is
Shall I read
concerned,
it?
Let him
we are
complete.
quite
Mr.
used to
Krishnamurthy,
such.
why don't you complete? Please complete.
No, I have read it. I'm telling you, they have.
You have read it. I have read it. Let the entire viewers know.
They have not strongly condemned it. They have not condemned it.
Why
at
you are
all.
using
They
the
have
word
said
condemn, stricture? Why you are manufacturing these words?
Themselves have accepted. He is coming back for the.
I come back to you, Krishnamurthy ji. What should the election commission do to restore its neutrality?
Not that. I can
There are question marks that political parties, sir, are raising over the neutrality of the commission.
They did not attack the commission. No, I'm coming to that. As far as the neutrality of the election commission is concerned,
yes,
unfortunately, this has been the practice in the last so many decades, that the election commission is the easiest target for those people, political parties, who are not able to succeed in the elections. So whether it is voting machine or whether it is voter roll, they will have some excuse or the other. In a country of this massive size, to conduct an election is not an easy joke. And we have done it reasonably well to the appreciation of various countries. So we are not worried so much about the complaints of lack of impartiality and so on.
Right.
It is bound to be there. We accept it as part of the occupational hazard. But let it be very clearly understood. Even in this case, if you ask me whether personal hearing could have been given, maybe I would have given it. But it is it depends upon the facts and circumstances of each case. But do not attack the commission. That's all I would say.
I think your point is well taken. You want to give a final word? Yes, Mr. Biswadit Bhattacharya.
Just for the kind information of the viewers and Mr. Krishnamurthy, para 85, we would unhesitatingly and without any reservation hold that rejoining and withdrawal of recusal by Mr. O.P. Rawat should have been communicated and informed to the petitioners. This would have materially affected the response and reply of the petitioners dated 16th October 2017 and 20th November such and such. There is also a difference between recusal and rejoining or withdrawal of the recusal. These were two separate sides.
Okay, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there, gentlemen. Then we'll get into the micro detailing that I don't think we have the time at the moment to do. I appreciate your joining us because we were looking at the bigger picture of the election commission. Thank you all very much for joining me. My take. For the Election Commission, today's Delhi High Court order must be seen as an embarrassment. To have an order disqualifying 20 AAP MLAs being returned by the court suggests a possible error in law, but more importantly, principles of natural justice not being followed. Surely the AAP MLAs deserved an extended personal hearing before they were disqualified. However, to suggest that the Election Commission has behaved in a partisan manner would be unfair. After all, it is the same commission which in the Gujarat Rajya Sabha case has given the Congress a break and gone against the ruling BJP. What the commission does need to do though is to ensure ensure greater transparency in functioning, then be it on contentious orders passed by it or indeed when it comes to EVMs. The Session legacy is one of a tough, no-nonsense EC which just doesn't act as a neutral umpire but is seen to do so. A final word on AAP. This is a party which emerged with great hope and excitement 5 years ago. In recent times, though, the party has fallen into a cesspool of familiar cynicism and negativism. Maybe the EC order is an opportunity for the AAP to do some course correction, a reminder that the whole world isn't necessarily conspiring against the Aam Aadmi Party. Up next is our Get Real India story tonight. India's public sector banks are already facing a massive bad loan crisis. Get Real India segment. India's public sector banks, as we know, are already facing a massive bad loan crisis. Now, public sector bankers are telling India today that the Prime Minister's ambitious Mudra Yojana could only be adding to the woes of the Indian banking sector. Many bank employees have already hit the roads. Bank unions are angry, claiming they are being blamed for what they say is a problem in the entire financial system. It's tonight's special report.
We have launched the Mudra scheme to provide easy finance of up to 1 billion rupees to entrepreneurs.
Launched with big fanfare, PM Narendra Modi's ambitious project to re-energize the small-scale industry sector, the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, is slowly becoming a white elephant, say bankers. Mudra loans, they say, are adding to public sector banks' bad loans, which have already crossed 7.34 lakh crore rupees. Since the launch in 2015, banks have sanctioned 11.5 crore loans. More than 5 lakh crore rupees have been disbursed. This financial year, the government has set a target of 3 lakh crore rupees in Mudra loans. This runaway success has a darker side. Bankers allege they come under pressure to meet targets even as defaulters pile up. On top of this, many of the beneficiaries are diverting funds.
टारगेट्स इस तरह के होते हैं कि आपको आज 5 लोन करने हैं. कैश, ये जो पैसा दिया जाता है उसका डाइवर्जन ऑफ फंड, ये तो बहुत ही कॉमन है, क्योंकि पैसा लिया मैंने बिजनेस के लिए, लेकिन यूज कर लिया. मेरे घर में शादी थी, मेरे घर में मेरे को मकान बनाना है, उसके लिए मैंने यूज कर लिया, और बैंकर को उसके लिए लायबल कर दिया जाता है.
Bank unions allege bank managers often face threats and abuse from MPs, MLAs and local politicians to get loans sanctioned.
Now you are putting political pressure. Why should a minister come and conduct a loan mela? Which gives a message that government is giving something free, so those loans are not going to come back.
Experts say the Mudra scheme has failed to achieve its objective. They claim small-scale industries are also adding to bad loans situation.
To generate NPA portfolio of 7% in 3 years' time, certainly lacks little alarming. Something must be done or should be done about this. I'm not seeing too much of national, but I'm certainly seeing local and regional politics getting into something like this. So therefore, credits are pushed into those pockets which are favored. Not necessarily all the pockets in the economy, basically.
The belief is that a lot of the challenges in the banking system are essentially on the large businesses. I think we have also a pretty sensitive underbelly of the SMEs business, which has not fully revealed its hand yet.
Bankers are angry, protesting against being used as a political tool. Collateral-free loan schemes like the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana are bleeding the nationalized banks. With an increase in the target for disbursals each year, the number of bad loans are also rising. With Akshay Nath and Viren Singh Gunawat, this is Anand Patel in New Delhi for India Today.
We tried to get a government reaction to that story, but none was available. We hope they'll react, and as and when they do, we'll tell you whether the Mudra scheme is an asset or liability. Are some of the loans which are given for businesses, small businesses, being used instead on marriages and other benefits. Okay, let's take a break. When we return, on the other side, we'll turn...
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.